Well, hello my chickadees. I'm making split pea soup. I have some ham bones I want to use up. I have a little bit of ham left. That's going to go in last. First I'm going to start off sauteing onion, celery, and carrots in my Le Creuset with a little bit of coconut oil. As you can see, it's still solid, so I just have to scrape a little bit up. I have a box of turkey stock that's open, and I have green split peas. So let's get this started. I have to tell you guys something funny. Well, it's funny to me. So we have the Amazon Echo, which is called Alexa. And I play music on it all day long. So whenever I do video clips, I tell her to stop or pause. So here I was a second ago grooving to Izzy, and now I had to stop. But if I play the music in the background, my videos get flagged and then they could be taken down, so I'd rather prevent that. So I have my coconut oil melted. You see all shiny and bright. I'm going to add my veggies. And probably lower the heat so you don't need it. I don't want them colored, just translucent. I'm going to lower it to medium. Get all the veggies out of the bowl. I'm going to add pepper, but I'm not going to add salt quite yet. Because ham is salty, I'm going to taste it when I have the stock added and all of that. And it's going to simmer for a while because split peas cook slowly. And yes, those are carrots from our garden. And I have to run back out to the garden maybe a little bit, in a little bit to get some thyme. I think thyme survived through the frost. Hopefully. Alright, so the veggies is where I want them. I'm going to add the stock. It's going to sizzle. And I'm going to see how much water I need to add. And I didn't use a lot of this 32 ounce. So I don't think I'm going to need to add a lot of water. But I want to be able to submerge at least the smaller bone. So let me mix this up and then I will measure out the split peas, which I've already picked before I put them in that container from the bag. So there shouldn't be any pebbles in there. And there might be. You should always pick through your lentils, beans, split peas, all of that. Alright, so the bones are submerged ever so slightly, and I had just about 2 full cups of split peas, which is perfect for this amount of soup. I'm going to go pick a bunch of thyme to add to this, and probably a bay leaf or 2. And actually I should probably use my submerge little strainer, but I have to pick out bones anyway, so that's the only other addition. And then it's just gonna simmer until it's the consistency we like. We like it thick, but not spoon standing upright thick. And I'm not gonna add the diced ham until the very end. I may or may not puree it, see how much it breaks down. Typically it breaks down on its own. The reason I'm making it earlier in the day is because I also want to make a fresh bread. So I want to have my stove ready for me. I'm only going to babysit the soup until it comes up to a boil. I'm going to wait until vigorous bubbles start appearing, and then I'm going to turn it down to simmer. And this is the strainer I was talking about. I've shown in the past. It's like a real big tea one, but you can put herbs in there, peppercorns, all sorts of things. So I have to run out to the garden and get the thyme. I'm not sure, again, what survived the frozen couple of nights we had. Okay, there's the boil. I'm gonna turn it down. And Polly just called me and told me a funny story. Somebody who he was delivering to was really irate, and she was standing at the front door tapping her foot, and when he showed up at the door from his truck with her package, she said, "Don't you know where you're supposed to leave the packages?" I guess they have 2 doors. One has an awning and one does not, and he was heading towards the one that has an awning because that's always the precaution in case it rains, you know, inclement weather. And he said, "No, I'm sorry, I didn't. I was heading to the door that had cover." She said, "What do you, she said, anybody would know where to leave the package. What are you, stupid?" And he said, "Are you calling me stupid?" She apparently appeared to have been drinking, and he opted to walk away from the situation. She called UPS, told them that he threatened her. UPS said, well, we just spoke with him. He did describe what occurred. We don't believe he threatened you. So she hung up with UPS and called the police and told the police that he threatened her. So the police called UPS. UPS called Polly. He didn't threaten anyone. It's not in his nature. It's just a weird thing to even say. So the police are on the way to her house to see what kind of threat he made, if she has any proof of a threat, and if they find her intoxicated or calling in a false report, then that's against her. People are strange. Just like take a chill pill, relax. It's not, you know, I don't remember, actually, it's none of my business what the package was, who the package was from, but if it's life or death, I don't think it would be delivered UPS, so it's probably a purchase, most likely, but gosh, don't get so anxious over things. I think I need to lower this just ever so slightly. So yeah, I count my blessings that I work from home. I work with a fabulous crew. My coworkers are wonderful. We all work together. Working from home allows me to do this kind of thing during the day. And when the soup is done, I'm going to have the stovetop all clear. And I'm going to make bread, fresh bread for tonight. Because I think it would be great to have fresh baked bread with the split pea soup. Yeah, that's definitely boiling a little too vigorously. Because peas are starchy, I don't want them to start sticking to the bottom. Even though this is a heavy cast iron pot. It's our lovely Le Creuset, that which we adore. I still want to make sure that it cooks evenly, and I still have to get my tushy out to the garden because he literally just called me and told me this whole story. And I have my lunch warmed up. Let me show you what it is. It's leftovers from Meatless Monday pasta, and I think it might be, oh no, it's still warm. So yeah. Yeah, and I wanted to make sure I got this all done before I have a meeting this afternoon that I need to participate on, so I'm gonna be ready and fed and watered. I'll have to get water. All right, garden, water, lunch. I keep forgetting to mention, you could totally make this vegetarian, and as a matter of fact, completely vegan. Leave out any of the protein, animal protein, which is the ham, and use vegetable stock. It turns out just as delicious because it's mostly vegetables. I mean, really, the only reason I'm using the ham bone is because I had it. I wouldn't go out of my way to go find a ham bone. I would have made this vegetarian otherwise. There's my garni. I have fresh thyme, black peppercorns, and that bay leaf was giant, so it's crumbled into pieces. So I'm going to close that up and submerge it in the soup. Finally, I'm sitting down to eat lunch, and I think I burned my thumb. Not sure what happened there. That's okay. That's okay. I licked it. It's all set. So this is what it looks like about 40 minutes later, and I did add 2 more cups of water because liquid was evaporating faster than the split peas can disintegrate. See, they're almost losing their shape entirely. So they're going to be ready for pureeing, and the vegetables are nearly puree ready. I'm going to let this simmer just a little longer, then I'm going to take out all the bones, the 2 pieces of bone, and the herb garni basket, and then we'll puree it up. It'll be nice and thick because peas are starchy, and then I'll be able to add the diced ham, which is in the refrigerator for now, because the cat was a little too interested in it. She was like, what's on the table that I want to get my paws in? So I put it away. So yeah, it smells really good. Love like the home cooked smell. So once the soup is done, I'll have the stovetop to bring out my bread maker, and I think I need 4 hours for bread. So if I put it in at 3, it'll be ready for when Polly gets home after 7. which would be nice because nice warm bread, not piping hot, warm bread would be lovely. But in the meantime, I have some cleanup to do. I am going into a meeting in a few minutes, so I'm going to run downstairs and get my bread maker and hopefully get everything squared away before my meeting starts. And then I will be able to just relax and maybe read tonight because the dinner will be all ready. What else did I need? Well, maybe I'll just do one of my side projects for the week. I have a couple of organizational things that I'm working on throughout the week. Well, actually throughout the whole month, but I haven't tackled any of the ones for this week because every day after work I've been busy. And tomorrow I have errands to run. I have to run out to one of Polly's doctors to pick up something for him. And yeah, so that will be my morning tomorrow. Soup looks good. It smells good too. I really wish there was smell-o-vision. So good. So once I remove the bones and the garni basket, the bouquet garni basket, I will taste it to see if there's enough salt, pepper, garlic, because then I can add the flavors that we want. And I will probably leave out anything spicy. Polly likes spice, but not nearly as much as I do, so I will just doctor up my bowl when I go to eat it. And you'll be amazed. It looks like a big pot of soup. Once I remove the bones, the displacement of the liquid, you'll see it's going to be a lot less, and then I'll puree it. I may add a little bit more stock at that point. We'll see how thick it is. Again, cooking is by feel, baking is science, so feel free to add whatever flavors you enjoy, but whenever I think of split pea soup, I think of maple butter, fresh crusty bread and maple butter, because that's the first time I had split pea soup in Quebec on a school trip when I was in 9th grade. And they served it with crusty bread and maple butter. So I wonder if I should do that. Maybe I can make a little batch of maple butter spread. The sense of smell and food are like one of the strongest memories you have. So that's bringing back memories for me. There's what the soup looks like. I've taken out the bones and the bouquet garni basket. As you can see, you probably leave it like this, but I like to puree it, so. Got my immersion blender. That's what I'm gonna use. I'll show you what it looks like when it's pureed. That could not be any easier. It's like 20 seconds and it's done. Of course, if you have a blender, you don't have an immersion blender and you have a blender, just transfer it. Make sure you don't fill your blender container too full when blending hot liquids. So it's nice and thick, but not too thick. So I'm gonna taste it for flavoring, see if I need to add any salt. And this is when I will add the diced ham into it because I don't want pureed ham. So you need a little bit of texture. And then we'll have crusty bread alongside of it. So let me taste the flavor and see if I need to add anything. The soup definitely needs a little salt and pepper, so I added some pink Himalayan salt and cracked black pepper. And there's the ham dices. Well, you can lick that, honey. There you go. And that is ham and split pea soup. You can make a vegetarian by leaving the ham out. Yum! Now to make the bread. Okay, change of plans. I'm warming up soup. I never made the bread, so I'm going to warm up a couple of these little naans that we got at Costco in the oven so we can have that with our soup. Be careful when you warm up thick soup. Warm it up on lower temperature so it doesn't start to bubble and then spurt at you. It was kind of creepy. So yeah, turn it lower and keep stirring too. So let me grab the naans out of the oven and put a little bit of butter on them. So there's dinner, bowl of ham, split pea and ham soup, some buttered naan with a little bit of thyme from the garden, and that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you so much for stopping by and keeping us company. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss us.